What's good, you guys? In today's video, BeerBiceps is bringing you another detailed exercise plan. Today we're talking about the 3-day split, the push-pull leg split, or as I like to call it, the working professional split. Why do I say that? Because this workout plan is very beneficial for someone in their mid-20s, especially if you're a working professional getting your career started. Remember, fitness is very important, but at the end of the day, you should also give priority to the other aspects of your life. If you're in your mid-20s, there's two major changes. Firstly, you have to get your career started. You need to dedicate more time to your work in the office. Career tu wahan dal de. Kahan ga? BeerBiceps, gym is life. And the second huge change is that if you're someone who's been lifting, who's been gymming since the time you're a teenager or since the time you're in college, and that phase of your life, your hormonal system worked differently than it does today. In that phase of your life, you had much more testosterone, much more growth hormone in your bloodstream, and that would cause a faster recovery. So when you get older, your hormonal system is different. It's not pumping out that many anabolic hormones. And because of that, you need to give more priority to something like recovery and kind of think about your workout regime once again. Remember, at the end of the day, everyone's got to figure out their own workout regimes. And in today's video, I'm going to go over the advantages, the disadvantages, and of course, the scientific reasoning behind why you should be considering doing a 3-day split. Now, most newer gymmers and gym bros kind of think like Chetan Chotia. Bro, मैं 6 times जाता है because 5 to 6 times is #hustle, #dedication. Now, yes, a 5 to 6 day split does have its own scientific advantages. And if you're a younger bro, someone who's in college, someone who has the time to spare, but most importantly, someone whose hormonal system is working with full force, make sure you check out the video I made on my own split that I used to follow in college. But in saying that, today's video is more about the working professional split. What do you do when you grow up a little bit? Firstly, you've got to understand two concepts. The concept of volume. That's how much weight you've lifted into the number of reps you've done. It's a way of kind of quantifying or measuring your workout. So over time, if you want to put on muscle, you need to increase the overall volume of your workout. And secondly, you've got to understand the concept of intensity. That means how much effort you're putting into your workout. So you're said to be doing a high intensity workout either if you're pushing very hard in a particular set. So usually if you're lifting very heavy weight with lower reps to work on your strength gains. Or it's said to be intense if you take all your sets till failure. And what's failure, Chetan? Hey, BeerBiceps, main bolega. Suppose 10 rep is complete failure, 8 reps is great. Because you shouldn't go to failure in every set. If you're someone who works out and you want to know more about these scientific terms when it comes to working out, make sure you check out the video I made on the science of weight training. But coming to the 3-day split again, there's the disadvantages and the advantages. And let's start with the disadvantages. So the 3-day split basically involves 3 days of going to the gym. You're gonna take a push workout, chest-shoulder-tricep, a pull workout, back bicep, and on the 3rd day, you're going to train your legs and your abs. Now, you need to understand that when you compare this to a normal 5 to 6 day bro split, where you're targeting a single muscle at a time, you can pump out more volume in that particular split. So let me explain this using an example. Suppose in a 5 to 6 day split, you've got your chest day. You can do up to 16 to 24 sets on your chest day. But when you compare it to a 3-day split, where you only have 1.5 hours for 3 body parts, you can't really pump out as much volume. That means you'll be doing fewer sets for just your chest, then you move on to your shoulder where you again do fewer sets than you would have done in a 5 to 6 day split, and then again you move on to your triceps. There's a lot lower volume, and these fewer number of sets in the long term will result in slightly lesser muscle hypertrophy. Aha, bola na, 5-6 days best, dedication is best, gym for life. That means a guy who's following a 5 to 6 day bro split will get slightly better results in terms of aesthetics and muscle size when compared to someone who's following a 3-day split. But keep in mind, this is the only disadvantage of a 3-day split. Also keep in mind the differences in results are very minimal. And also keep in mind that long-term muscle hypertrophy isn't just about going for a 5 to 6 day split or a 3-day split. Muscle hypertrophy involves a lot of other factors like your diet, the amount of rest you get, which is very important. And that's why, without wasting any time, let's get to the advantages of following a 3-day or a push-pull leg or a working professional split. The first advantage is that it's super practical. If you're following a 3-day split, you're only spending 2.67% of your time in the gym. When you compare it to how much time you spend in the office, that's about 24%. 2.67% isn't all that bad. So if you're someone who's joined the gym, don't make excuses. It's just 2.67% of your time. The second huge advantage, as I've spoken about already, is the added recovery time. Remember, when you get older, your recovery becomes slower. That means you need to make up for the slower recovery with more recovery days. 3 days of working out, 4 days of rest. In the long term, if you're smart about your workout volume and intensity, this will result in a lot of gains, and very importantly, you'll be able to prevent something like injury. Remember, if you're a teenager, a younger gymmer, your recovery is better. So you can go in with a lot of intensity, a lot of volume, but as you grow older, your recovery is slower. You're more prone to injury. That's why those 4 rest days will be very crucial in the long term to prevent long-term injury. Next, we're talking about intensity. As I said earlier, you're not able to pump out as much volume in a workout when you compare a 3-day split to a 5 to 6 day split. But the advantage of following a 3-day split is that volume is equal to reps into weight. Now your overall reps will be lower. You can equalize your volume when compared to a 5 to 6 day split by increasing the overall weight you've lifted. Remember, intensity is the amount of effort you put into a set. So whether you're putting effort to lift very heavy weights or going to failure more often than someone in a 5 to 6 day split, you can amp up your intensity to make up for the lack of volume. That's what you need to keep in mind. So this will result in the long term with a lot of strength gains if you program correctly. Design a program that suits you well. Focus on your big compound movements, that's your bench press, your deadlift, your squat, and at the end of the day, you might get better results in terms of strength when compared to someone who's doing a 5 to 6 day split. Remember, there's a lot of powerlifters who follow a 3-day split, but you also need to keep in mind that everyone's got their own systems. For some people, this kind of system of a 3-day split works much better than something like a 5-day split. And finally, coming to the actual workout plan you can follow. Keep in mind, what I usually do is that I go over the entire workout plan. But in today's video, I'm just gonna give you a blueprint, but also keep in mind the written version of a detailed plan is in the description box, so make sure you check that out. Remember, the reason I put out these detailed exercise plans is not for you to follow them. It's for you to look at them and adopt it into your own system. Everyone's bodies are different, and all you need at this stage of your exercise science adventure is a detailed blueprint. You basically need a rough outline of what a 3-day split should look like and then design your own split. So day 1 will involve your back, biceps and maybe forearms. Day 2, you either rest or you do cardio depending on how much time you have. Day 3, you'll do your CST, that's your chest-shoulder-tricep, or your pushing movements. You'll take a break after that. And on day 5, you'll take up legs and abs and obliques if you're concerned with the aesthetic side of things. Now keep in mind, for each of these workouts, you're supposed to go with very high intensity at the beginning of your workout. At the beginning of your workout, your energy levels are very high and you want to use those high energy levels to pump out maximum intensity. So on each workout day, you're going to begin with an important compound movement. For your back, it'll be your deadlift and your pull-ups. For your chest, it'll be your bench press and your decline press. For your legs, it'll be a lot of sets of your squats. In each of these movements, you're going to go very heavy and you're going to aim to go to 80% of failure. After you're done with the basic important compound movements, you'll move on to the other bodybuilding style movements. Once you're done with your primary body part, which is your chest or your back or your legs, you'll move on to your secondary parts. And in your secondary parts, you'll hit it with medium intensity. So once again, go up to 80% of failure, but don't lift too light and don't lift too heavy either. You want to go to medium reps. So 8 to 12 reps should correspond to 80% of failure. If you've pumped out 8 reps, you have to have 2 reps left in the tank after the 8 reps that you've pumped out. That's what's called going to 80% of failure. Always have 1 or 2 reps left in the tank. Remember, the main reason we're doing a 3-day split is because it's sustainable. So you start off with the powerlifting side of things, move on to the bodybuilding side of things, and at the end of the day, design your plan yourself. Just focus on the compound movements, get stronger, but through the bodybuilding movements, you want to get aesthetic as well. I just want to end the video by saying that how you look depends primarily on what you eat. I believe it's 80% your diet and 20% your exercise plan. So even on days you're resting, keep in mind you still want to hit your protein goal, and through the week, relatively just eat clean. If you want a detailed diet plan to follow on each of these days during your 3-day split, make sure you check out the BB Summer Diet Plan. And if you're someone who just wants to know more about the science side of things when it comes to weight training, make sure you check out the Science of Muscle playlist on BeerBiceps. If you like today's video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Each of your thumbs ups adds to how my channel grows. So either way guys, until next time, from Ranveer, see you.